Great, it's working now. Technical issues about this. So yeah, good evening everyone. Welcome to the fourth round of season 18 here in Division 1. We are here for some more racing in F1 Total. This is round number 4 in Azerbaijan, in Baku. As you can see, qualifying has already started quite a few minutes ago. I had to sort out some technical issues. But yeah, the stream is up, qualifying is underway. We have 7 minutes and a half still left on the clock, and the drivers have already started setting their first laps of this session here in Baku. There we go. Currently, it's PC Willy on pole position with a 138.144, already beating the Division 2 pole position that was done by myself with a 38.3 or so. Drivers already starting to show why they are in Division 1, being obviously faster than that, just at the top of the game, at the top of their game, and at the top of the possible pace. And whoa, there we go. We can already see the first 137 being set by Antonio in the McLaren. So laps already extremely quick laps on the leaderboard, as now Antonio in McLaren, the Finnish driver, goes to provisional pole position, beating PC Willy by more than a tenth and a half. Few drivers still have to set the first laps. One of them is Bazooka Joe in the Ferrari, currently sitting in last, well, without a lap time set. He's driving his Ferrari around the track. We also have Sully and Jerem, who is returning as a reserve driver after a long time. He's reserving for Williams. We have another returning face, and that is Dylan McGivern in Ferrari. Dylan has made his history as a former Division 1 driver, as a former Division 2 driver as well, and now he's returning on the grid reserving for Ferrari. And we also have a new face, like a completely new face, not a returning one, which is it's showing as Cheeseburger in the Red Bull, but he's called Sam in the Discord. So that's Sam, a new driver here in F1 Total. He is for Red Bull. I'm not sure if he's reserving or if he's a main driver. I can check real quick. He's a reserve driver, so he's reserving for Red Bull. And you might be wondering, why is he reserving for Red Bull? Well, that's because Cat Chaser is missing the race once again. The six-time world champion, again, not with the best of attendance to this start of the season, and it's a very big opportunity for our main contenders to try and gain as many points as possible, like his teammate PC Willy, like his all-time rival Felix, also drivers like Alex, Numicorn, Antonio. They will all be looking forward to gain as many points as possible, using this chance with Cat Racer not racing. He's actually in the standings with 28 points down in P4, and the drivers ahead of Cat Racer are Felix on the top, PC Willy in P2, and actually PC Willy and Alex outside on 40 points in P2 and 3, but Felix is leading currently the standings with 46 points. Catchers are down at 28, and he's in P4, and he could definitely lose a few places as well if Numicorn, well, mainly Numicorn outscores him, because we have Phantom Fox, we have Sully, we have Antonio, but they're quite far. Well, not that far. Like drivers like Numicorn, Phantom Fox, Sully, and Antonio, they could all overtake Cat Racer after this race. And now PC Willy comes back on provisional pole position, improving by 4/10 and setting an even faster lap time than Antonio. There was already an impressively faster lap at 37.9. Now PC Willy sets at 37.752, gaps the rest of the field by 2/10 at least. Now Killaswag joined the reserving for Sauber, so now we are up to 16 drivers. So we already have a few DNFs for Pinky reserving in McLaren, and Alex, well, the fake Alex, reserving for Alpine. The real Alex is currently sitting in P5 between Felix and Kuko. But we have we have a top 3 that I don't think we've ever seen before. It's Peace Willie on the top, Antonio in P2, and Numicorn actually with impressive pace is in P3 currently. But qualifying is actually almost done. So very shortly we will have to commentate an onboard lap around the Baku street track. It's only Peace Willie out on track who is on his in lap, while we do have Alex and Dylan on their out laps. But to control as well, there's lots of movements in the pit lane. You can see a Haas, a Red Bull, Mercedes, so many cars coming out of the pit lane right now. And I don't think PC Willie will have the time for another run, so that's his shot, that's his chance. That's his best attempt to try and claim pole position here in Baku. And there we go, 1 minute and 50 seconds. That is absolutely not enough to go out on track to set another lap. So Antonio Monconen in a McLaren will be his closest rival at the moment. I would say pole position is not fundamental around Baku, but it is most definitely important. You definitely have an advantage if you start on pole position around here. But the infamous walls will have no mercy for whoever makes a mistake, and that obviously has the potential to shake everything up. And is that a Haas in the wall? Oh no, it's just Felix letting everyone through. Naturally, we'll go now on board with Antonio Monconen to commentate the lap around here, around Baku. I do think I got his last name right, Monconen, if I remember correctly. But now, on board with the McLaren driver around Baku, and we start the lap. The run down to turn 1 is very, very short and braking very, very hard, downshifting to third gear and deploying some battery on the exit. Now, another left-hand corner, 90 degrees, so many 90 degrees corners around this track. Antonio has a bit of a slide on the exit, but now he opens the DRS, deploys some battery, and there are still 2 corners left to go to finish sector 1. Braking aggressively and very hard into turn 3, downshifting to second gear. And now into another 90 degree corner, this time a right-hander. And we finish sector 1 with not improvement, he's down by 65 thousandths. Now into this very fast left and right, starting sector 2, and now with another right-hander, almost 90 degree. Taking in second gear using electric curb, and now the infamous Castle Jackson section, so easy to make a mistake around here. And just going so close to the walls, following the purple racing line. And it's very slippery here on the exit of turn 12. And now we go flat out into 13 and 14. We're almost done with sector 2. One of the most difficult braking zones on the car now. That's turn 15, taking a lot of curb on the inside and almost brushing the wall on the outside. And just before the braking zone for turn 16, we finish sector 2 with an improvement of almost 4 tenths. Antonio is on an absolute flyer, and he's definitely a challenger for pole position. And he exits turn 16. And he deploys all of the energy that he has left in the battery. DRS will be enabled shortly. An improvement by almost 4 tenths. That will definitely be enough for pole position, unless that slide on the exit will cost him, but it will not, because he loses just a tenth, but improvement is enough for pole position. Anton improves by 3 tenths, and he takes provisional pole position around here in Baku with a 37.650. So please with the demoted to P2. Numicon across the line. I think he abandoned the lap. We have Felix who is still pushing. We do not know if Felix is improving. Let's see across the finish line. He's deploying the battery. DRS is already enabled. Felix, Dylan and Kilas Black, the only drivers left. Felix goes up into P3. He improves by a tenth and a half. Out-qualifies Unicorn and places himself behind Pisuili and Antonio, almost 4 tenths off of pole position. We have Dylan crashed! Dylan crashed in the pit lane entry into the wall and destroyed his tire. What an end to the qualifying session. Well, he aborted the lap, but he also completely destroys his front suspension entering the pit lane. But yeah, this very short qualifying session is now over, and it's gonna be Antonio on pole position with a 1 minute and 37.650. What a lap! What an absolutely amazing lap. That's 7 tenths faster than my pole position time in Division 2. Then we have PC Willy in P2, Felix in P3, the first driver, well, the fastest drivers out of the ones that set a 138. That's a 38.034 for Felix in P3. Numicon in P4, Alex in P5, Jerome in P6, Kidaswag in P7, Kuku in P8, Pix in P9, Fancy Fox in P10. Then we have Dylan, Sam, Bazooka, and Sully. I missed who was in P15 and 16. I believe I missed Pinky and someone else I don't remember right now. But well, that's been the grid for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. That's gonna start very shortly. Strategy-wise, well, normally with green flags conditions, you have 26 laps. If you have 26 laps of like normal racing, a one stop is most definitely doable. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's definitely doable. Like doable up to the point where on a normal strategy, in a normal race, maybe you wouldn't go for the two stop. But safety cars are very, very easy and very, very likely to be deployed around this track. We've had quite a few in Division 3. Well, if I remember correct, I don't remember the Division 3 race exactly. Division 2, we've had only one, and many which was very early actually, and many drivers, if not pretty much everyone beside me, chose to pit on the hard and go to the end. But normally, I would say, I mean, even if you're looking at the compounds C4 to C6 for the softs, which is definitely not going to... Pinky starting on the softs. I have no idea why. The softs, like, literally last 2 laps and that's it, or even less. But other than that, it's mostly mediums with a handful of hards for the first stint. And I'm still assuming everyone will go for a one-stop normally, but if a safety car comes out, then a two-stop will very likely be an available option. So let's just keep ourselves on our toes. Let's see how everything plans out. The formation lap is over. The grid is set for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, round number 4. Here in Season 18, in Division 1, it's Antonio on pole position, PC Willy in second place on the right-hand side. Now it's lights out and away we go, and Antonio gets a great start. PC Willy is not able to put alongside, but Numicol fighting side by side with Felix immediately after turn 1, but Felix looks to stay ahead, and there's battle in between the two Williams teammates, Jerome and Alex. Jerome looks to be ahead in P5, so Alex stays behind. Don't think we were seeing many position changes on this first lap. Just a handful of places being swapped. But we have a yellow flag for a Sauber. That's a Sauber going slowly. That's Sully. Sully being involved in an incident, I think, but his car looks to be fine. No damage. Pinky has a lot of damage. Pinky, well, he gained a few places on the soft compound, but he has massive damage on his front wing. He's missing the end plate and quite a few flaps on the right hand side. We have Sam and Dylan fighting for position as well. Sam stays ahead. So there we go, the top 6 is on the medium compound. Hard compound for Killaswag, Kuko and Phantom. Everyone else on the mediums and Pinky on the softs, but well, he's gonna have to pit this lap. First to change his size because those softs are absolutely not a choice. And well, he has to fix his front wing, which is heavily damaged. So that's already a race heavily compromised for Pinky. But other than that, it's actually a lot less chaotic than I would have thought on this first lap. Now PC really takes the slipstream and he pulls alongside. He chooses the outside line. Actually, he stays behind once again to take the slipstream and chooses to stay behind actually. But DRS will now be enabled, and that's going to be obviously a very much deciding factor in this race. DRS games, ERS management will absolutely be crucial. Tire again is going to be an easy one-stop, but drivers will definitely have to look out for the grip loss on the rear tires. It's very, very easy to get a lot of micro wheel spin across the entire race, which is gonna just make the tire worse. And Dylan's crashed! Dylan has his car completely destroyed on the exit of turn 3. What has happened there? On the outside wall, exiting turn 3, Dylan has crashed and is immediately out of the race on his comeback after such a long time. What has happened there? So the options are two. Either he got like, I don't know, dive bombed on the inside and pushed to the outside and his car was destroyed on the exit on the outside. But actually looking at the replay, the left tire was completely destroyed, which I assume that's a very common to clip the inside on your own. As you turn in for the corner, you just turn in too early, you clip the front left on the inside wall, and your race over. A virtual safety car has been brought out. Just anyone chooses to use this virtual safety car to make a very early pit stop to go on the hards, or maybe not, because the green flags actually are deployed just as the drivers go past the main straight, and Antonio is very much under threat by PC Willie Felix because Antonio does not have DRS, but Antonio's so late on the brakes, but PC Willie looks for a switchback. And now Numicon pulls alongside, it's 3 wide into the second corner, but actually Numicon backs out of it and allows Felix to go through, so Felix is now back in P3. Antonio again will be under threat by PC Willie, and Felix battles with PC Willie, they go alongside turn 3, and now Felix is gonna have the inside, but he's not alongside anymore, so he chooses to stay behind again, but he's already battling with PC Willie quite heavily. It's one of his main contenders in this race. Kart Racer's teammate. He definitely needs to steal a lot of points from him, both in the driver standings and in the constructor's standings. More points for himself and more points for Haas against Red Bull and against PC Willie for Red Bull. But despite this battling, they're all staying bunched up. They are still in a DRS train. Pinky is still on the How? How is Pinky still able to stay in this DRS train with a damaged front wing and on this soft compound? He is still 8/10 away from Sam and still inside DRS. How? How is that even possible? Antonio once again does not have DRS. There is nothing he can do to defend against PC Willie, who switches to the inside line. The DRS just makes him fly past very, very easily for the overtake. And now PC Willie is in the lead. Antonio will have DRS once again though, but the straight is much shorter from turn 2 to turn 3, so he does not have the run he needs to get past again. But now Felix will definitely be looking forward to get past Antonio as soon as possible. He does not want a car between himself and his main contender in this race. So Pinky has now fallen out of the DRS train, so this train goes from PC Willie at the top to his teammate, to his provisional teammate Sam in P11. They are all within 1 second of each other. Actually, Numicorn down in P6, he risks to lose DRS to Alex. Let's see. He has a bit of a wobble on the exit. He's barely outside of DRS. If he deploys some energy, maybe he's back in it. He's trying to deploy, but he's run out of battery. He's not inside the DRS train. Numicon has lost DRS to Alex, and he's also on an empty battery, and Killaswag is going to just fly past him. And now Numicon needs to hope that Killaswag recovers to the DRS train, which is very much possible because the hard tires, they become quicker than the mediums very, very quickly. Like very, very shortly in the race, the hards become the faster tire. Now Antonio retakes the lead of the race with the DRS just before turn 3. Felix just stays behind. Pink is finally in the pits to change his front wing and the tires. At this point I think he's gonna... I mean, with some management, or with heavy management, he could bring the hard compound to the end, but like with very heavy management. So maybe that's gonna be a strategy. We don't know for sure. Kuko is very close to Pix. That's probably the closest gap we are seeing in this field. Yellow flags for Alex. Alex is without a front wing, exiting turn, what is that, turn 16. Hits the barrier, I'm not sure how, and completely destroys his front wing. Kuko is past Pix for P8. Oh, but we have a crash! I am sorry, I completely missed that. We have a crash and the safety car is out on track. Numicon has crashed! What has happened? I got completely distracted for like 5 seconds and Numicon is out of the race and the safety car has been brought out on the track. What has happened? So yellow flags deployed after turn 3. I think Numicon made the same mistake as Dylan. He flips the inside barrier of turn 3, turns too early, destroys his tire, and he's out of the race. But now, crucially, the safety car is out, and I do think everyone will use this safety car to pit on the hards. Will they go to the end? I mean, they could, again, with some management, but a 2-stop on 2 set of hards is not out of the question. Especially now that they're using this free pit stop. But now this has become a lot harder for who's already on the hard compound. Killaswag, Kuko, Phantom Fox, Pinky and Alex. Their races are much more difficult right now. The middle runners, obviously everyone into the pits. Killaswag in the pits as well, so is Kuko. So, oh, Phantom Fox with an overtake in the pit lane. That is brilliant stuff from Phantom Fox. Overtaking Pix in the pit lane. Just before the pit limiter line. Oh, but he's losing time with a double stack. Oh no! Phantom Fox doing an amazing move on Pix in the pit lane, but he's losing time. Well, he's losing time to fix his front wing and also the double stack from Felix. But it was a very good move, I have to say. So whoever was on the hard pitted for the medium, and whoever pitted for the medium is now on the hard. No, wait. Whoever was on the hard pitted for the medium, and vice versa. Whoever was on the medium pitted for the hard. So who is on the hard now has a very easy strategy ahead of him. I mean, he just needs to choose, whoever is on the hard now just needs to choose whether they want to bring this hard to the end, which is possible, again, with some management. Maybe with less management than it would have required if they pitted a few laps ago. But they could bring it to the end. Or they could just choose to push flat out and pit for another set of hards later on. But who is on the mediums is definitely going to have to pit again for another set of hards. So they have a very clear 2-stop. So we have Antonio in the lead, Felix in P2 and PC in P3. Jerome P4, Killer's Black, the first driver on the medium season P5. Sam in P6, Alex in P7. Kuko in P8, Pix in P9, Phantom Fox in P10. Out of the points we have Sully, Pinky, Badrigajo and Alex. DNF for Unicorn and Dylan, who I assume have made the same mistake around turn 3. So I assume the safety car will be in this lap. Everyone is bunched up together. The mandatory 2 laps have been driven. So we're going to resume at the end of lap 8 and starting lap 9 out of 26. Pretty much 1/3 of the race is gone. And the safety car restart is going to be absolutely crucial, because you have to do it in a way that you don't get attacked by the slipstream you get, or the massive slipstream you get on the non-straight. You absolutely need to get the timing and the position right. And if Felix doesn't have good enough reaction times to Antonio's restart, he's going to be in big trouble. So the safety car has been called in the pit lane. Antonio is going to weave his tires to warm them up. He's going to have to wait a while. The pit lane, well, the safety car still hasn't come into the pit lane. He's going to have to still wait a while. He can go now. Now he can. Now he can restart anytime he wants. Still weaving, still weaving. Felix does not weave. He's ready to react. It's going to be a very late restart by Antonio. An extremely late restart. We are now passing the pit lane. We're braking. And he tries to catch Felix off guard, and he somewhat does. I mean, Felix reacts good, but The later acceleration is not enough, but he still stays behind. And Kuka losing 2 places. What has happened there? Kuka dropping down to 10th immediately. Pinky and Sully now fighting. Pinky goes ahead. Now it's a fight between Pix, Kuko and Phantom for P8. They're already losing time to the drivers ahead of them. Whoa, and Sam's defending aggressively from Alex, who surely was not gonna send it there. It's just too tight of a corner to send it. That was a late aggressive defense from Sam. And he looks to be dropping out of DRS. Alex needs to get past and wants to get past. He's losing time. Whoa, almost locks the rear, braking for 10-15. He's practically pushing Sam through this section and almost got caught up by the DTR. They are drag racing across the main straight. DRS is not enabled yet. It will be for the next lap. Alex has the outside line. They brake as late as they dare. They still keep wheel banging, and Alex in all of this is losing fight to Pix, who overtakes both of them. In the meanwhile, Felix dropping down to 4th. What happened? Felix going from P2 to P4. Antonio has broken DRS from PC Willy. Now Felix is fighting with Jerem. Alex was desperate to get past Sam, but in all of this, Pix just got past both of them and is up into P6. But he's out of DRS from Killaswag. That's 2.5 seconds between Killaswag and Pix. And crucially, that's 1.3 seconds between Piswili and Antonio. The race leader has broken out of DRS. He now has the chance to just go away with it. Just get away and run into the distance and never letting Piswili catch back up again. I mean, sure, Jeremy, Felix and Killaswag, they have DRS to attack Piswili. Piswili does not have any attack against Antonio. He will be the one under attack from 3 cars behind him. So that's really not an optimal situation and really a more compromised chance of winning this race for Piswili. As they fly past the main straight, Jeremy will be the closest one. Less than 3 times. DRS is now enabled. There's a yellow flag for Bazooka! Bazooka's crashed, and that's another safety car! Bazooka understeers into the wall on the left. That's another very common mistake on this track, and there we go. That's his Ferrari completely destroyed on the left. Very common to understeer out of that corner. And crucially, Jerem overtakes Piswili just a single moment before the safety car comes out on track once again on lap 11. So now that's Jerem up in P2 and 3 drivers crashing out of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Now this strategy is interesting. Now it's very interesting. If they haven't pushed this hard tire enough, could they bring it to the end? But is it even the right choice? I mean, if I'm assuming almost everyone has chosen 2 sets of hards. So if they pit now, they can just bring a single hard tire to the end from lap 11 to 26. That's 15 laps. Well, even less because they still had to drive 2 laps under the safety car. So that's about 13 laps pushing. And yeah, it's possible. I think almost everyone will pit for another set of parts. But could they lose track position to someone who chooses to bring this hard to the end? Maybe someone who does not have as much wear could bring it to the end, have a minimal tire difference, but gain track position. And I think that could come from someone in midfield like Pete, Sam, Alex, Kuko. So let's see. Antonio stays in. Sam is out. Okay, it's a mixed choice. It's a very mixed choice. I didn't think it would be so different amongst different drivers. Some are pitting and some are staying out. So Jerome has chosen a new set of parts. What this means is that he's gonna have for the rest of the race a tire advantage on the top 4. Or well, the top 6. Phantom Fox, 10-second penalty, ignoring yellow flags. What has happened? Phantom Fox, no! Ignoring yellow flags, what did you even do? Did he speed or did he overtake? What did Phantom Fox do to get a 10-second penalty under safety car conditions? And that's his race, and a very possible good result just down the toilet. And that is such a shame for the Haas driver. But let's go back to discussing strategy here. Jerome, as well as Pigs, Kuko, and Pinky as well, they will have an advantage on pretty much everyone for the rest of the race. They will always have the faster tire. Crucial difference is that they lost track position. Jerome, he does have a perennial advantage on everyone. It could be minimal, yes, but the thing is, for the rest of the race, he will always have faster tires. But the difference is that he's down in 8th. He lost a lot of position. A lot of position that PCWD, Felix, Sam, Alex and Phelan, and the other Alex as well, did not want to sacrifice. So Jerome, he has a faster tire, and if he doesn't get rid of traffic very quickly, he might be in big trouble. But Sam chooses to pit. So Sam, regretting his choice to stay out, he comes in pits at last, but he's gonna be last, or second to last actually. Or third to last, because Phantom Fox has to serve the penalty. 10-second stop and go penalty. There we go, now he just hits the hard tire. And I assume he's gonna bring it to the end. No, it's all hearts! It's no sets of hearts! No! It's gonna be a lot more difficult to bring this to the end. Well, more difficult, sure, but it's doable. I mean, the top 5 is bringing this hard to the end as well, so... Well, that's still 3 places for Jerome. I think the safety car will be in this lap. Phantom Fox and Sally will catch up very shortly. Yes, there we go. Safety car in this lap. Now it's going to be PC Willie who's going to have to handle the restart. And it's going to be again Felix in P2 reacting to the leader. PC goes a lot quicker than Antonio on his restart. He's gonna restart extremely late. He's gonna have to wait a long time. He's already a lot further down the straight than Antonio was on his restart. He still has to wait for the safety car to come in. He's really not leaving. Just keeping a constant speed. It's going to be a reaction test for Felix once again. Past the pit lane, Pizzi really has restarted, and that's a poorer reaction time for Felix compared to the last time. And Antonio is immediately attacking Alex down the inside. Antonio is immediately up into P3. But let's see Jerem, what is he able to do with his faster tire? Battling between Pix and Alex in the Alpine. Gillersberg and Panzerfox fighting for position as well for P11, the Haas and the Sauber. Because side by side they make some slight contact. Actually, Killersberg gets overtaken by his teammate Sully. I wonder if Williams will use any team orders. Jerem has faster tires, and he's hunting the leaders again because he has faster tires. He has a better chance than Alex to win this race. But is Alex willing to let just a reserve driver go? He's in this race as well. He's very much battling Antonio, Felix and Pizzi really on pure pace. Higgs looks like he's gonna defend a P6 from now on. Not attacking, not defending. He has no DRS from ahead or from behind. And now DRS is enabled. Kuko overtakes Alex down the main straight and is happy to P7. And Killersberg retires in the pit lane. We are down to 12 drivers after the Sauber reserve driver retires in the pit lane. And that's his Azerbaijan Grand Prix over on lap 15. Antonio putting a lot of pressure on Felix, who wants to get past. Pinky dropping a few places, getting damage again. Pinky with exactly the same damage he got earlier in the race, damaging his right end plate and flaps. I mean, did he even fix the wing at all? I'm actually starting to question this. Sam overtaking Alex before turn 15. But Sam does not have DRS from Kuko, so he's going to be under attack from Alex. And Alex lets Jerem through. He moves past before the break turn of turn 1, so that's now Jerem into P4. And Antonio almost into the wall. And Felix with not the best of exit, he went a little bit wide and he jumps out of DRS from Pizzi. That is crucial. In the span of 2 corners, so many things happened. Pizzi jumps out of DRS from Felix. Felix has a bad exit and now he gets overtaken by Antonio. Jerem overtakes his teammate and he's up into P4. And with 10 laps left to go, Antonio has to gain a few tenths to get back into the DRS range from Pizzi. And obviously Felix hopes that he's able to do that because that's also going to be his chance to be back in this race with DRS. Jerem looks in behind to get past. He has the better tire, he has a better pace, but not here. It's too tight to get past, he's going to have to wait. But you can definitely see how he has better traction through this sequence of corners. He gets caught up with the Sierra a little bit. Alex drops from DRS from his teammate. So as of now, this is a fight for P2 between Antonio, Felix and Jerome. They are the closest one on track. Alex is in the pits on lap 17. I'm not sure why. And I completely missed Jerome getting past Felix. I assume Jerome had a better line, maybe a switchback through turn 2. I completely missed that. But Jerome is now in the podium places. Now Felix has this lower tire and he's behind. He needs to push a little bit more, but he's even pushing. Oh, I completely forgot. Alex is in the pit lane for his second hard. Well, for his second stint on the hard. And if everyone is pushing, they will also pit for another set of hards. Question is, what will Jerome do in all of this? If everyone is gonna push 2 sets of hards for 10 laps each, then they're gonna come into the pit lane very shortly, and Jerome, who has an advantage of 5 laps, he could bring this to the end, stay out, and get a massive, and I mean massive, advantage on track to try and stay ahead. This is very interesting now. This is so interesting. Could this be a genius move from Jerome? What does this really do in the lead? He stays out for now. Antonio is under attack from Jerome, who has a DRS, and he chooses the inside line and gets past very easily. Now he's up into P2, and he's definitely gonna catch PC Willy with these fresher tires. Phantom in the pit as well, and he chooses to go on the mediums for his last stint. And he's fighting with Alex immediately on the exit. They bang wheels. They don't have the DRS, they're using the slipstream of each other, and Phantom Fox chooses to go for the inside line. They make contact with Alex, and Alex is into the wall! And that was really not the best of moves from Phantom. He got a lot of damage. He almost completely smashes his front wing. Well, yeah, it's heavy damage for both Alex and Phantom. Obviously, Alex has a lot more damage, and he is definitely not happy about Phantom Fox just completely pushing him into the wall. Just too late on the brakes. Not the best of moves. And that's one Haas driver out of the point. Jerome has caught up to PC Willy. He's in DRS range. And Felix overtaking Pix. Up in P4. Who has the fastest lap? This is Jerome, yes. He is absolutely flying on those pressure hards. He's catching him. He's catching him. He has a much better exit out of the caster section. There's so much more traction. The rear grip advantage you get from pressure tires is absolutely insane. But actually it looks like they are gonna bring this hard to the end, so they haven't been pushing that much. I think they're gonna stay out. With 7 laps left to go, they don't want to pit anymore. If they wanted to pit again for another set of hards, they would have done it earlier. I mean, I think it's just the result of the other safety car being deployed like halfway through this. Oh, Alex with a lockup! Alex with a big front lockup, and he misses the apex of Zone 1 completely. He almost puts his car into the wall, but he's able to avoid that. But he loses position to both Felix and Sam, and he's now in P7. And yellow flags for a Sauber. That's Sully with a mistake. I'm not sure what kind of mistake, but German has gotten past Piswili, who is sliding on the exit. Whoa, those rear tires are really not the best. And Jerome, with just one corner, has got Piswili and broken out of the DRS. That's the advantage you get on the rear tires. Absolutely insane stuff. So it looks like they're gonna bring these tires to the end, but they're gonna be on their last legs. Sam with DRS from pits. Too far to make a move, but he will definitely gain a lot of time. Antonio is trying to catch up to Piswili, and he sometimes does that, sometimes he doesn't. Like sometimes he gains, and sometimes he loses. He's staying on the pace, that's for sure, but not really in a consistent manner. Yellow flags for Pinky at turn 3. He's gone deep. He's into the runoff. And he still has... Why is he still going on with this broken front wing? From the start of the race. And at this point, with this tire advantage that Jerome will have up until the end of the race, that might have been an absolutely amazing choice to pit again under the safety car. Lost a lot of track position, yes, but he made it up very, very easily. I mean, he made up for it very easily. And now gapping Piswili by 2.4 seconds. And the thing about tire wear around Baku, it's not that it's high, it's that it's quick, if you get what I mean. You still have very much the chance to do a one-stop normally, but the thing is, I mean, you just get so much wear on so little laps, and so few laps, that just this five lap difference between Jeremy and Piswili is so massive, especially on the rear, because you just benefit so much from the more traction that you have. And I think he definitely has this win in the bag. You see, everyone chose to go for a one-stop, medium hard, and not pitting during the second safety car, but Jerome knew that he's gonna have this advantage for the entirety of the race, and he used it. Pinky again with a mistake at turn 3. Sam still has DRS to Felix, but he's... oh, Kuko with a big lockup! Similar mistake at Alex, goes a lot less deep, but Alex finds the switch back line. Yellow flags here, but needs green flags immediately again. So that's Alex up in 7th. And Felix has lost a lot of time. He's a lot further to Antonio now. Is he managing more heavily? Are his tires so gone that he needs to manage a lot more? Because Sam is like literally just behind him. I feel like maybe he stopped pushing to try and catch up to Antonio. And PCWD definitely stopped pushing to try and catch up to Jerem. But he's still in the fight with Antonio. Yeah, those rear tires are not looking great on Felix. And I could say the same for Antonio and PCWD. Yeah, we can definitely see them now in the sunlight. They're really not great. Oh, but look at Sam with a massive run on Felix. Is he gonna send it down the inside of turn 1? Yes, he is, late on the brakes and sends his Red Bull. And very nicely gets P4 ahead of the championship leader. He also has the faster tires. And he makes the move work very easily. Now Felix will be under attack from Pix, who also has fresher tires. The choice to not pit under the second safety car definitely wasn't great and wasn't the best. And the worst thing for Felix is that he got overtaken by a car who has fresher tires and is faster, so he lost a place. But now Felix, obviously, he's hoping that also the other cars ahead of him who have older tires, just as him, will lose places. But that's not going to be possible because PC Willie and Antonio are equal on pace and they're not fighting each other. Antonio is not able to catch up. And Sam could catch up. I mean, no offense, but he looks to be on pace, just lower than PC William and Antonio. But even with the faster tire, even if he gains something, it's not going to be enough. There's not enough time. So Felix just loses and doesn't gain back from it. Sure, he can fight Sam, and that's what he's going to do now. But his tires are significantly slower, and I do think he's trying to pull off a lot more management. But Pix as well with a great result in P6. He also has the pressure tires. And I have to say, in the midfield, Pix has been... oh! Contact between Sam and... Sam goes deep! Felix and Sam fighting for position. They make contact just before the braking zone, but Sam goes too deep on the brakes and goes into the runoff area. He's down in P8. I'm not sure how is that gonna go down to the steward's room. I mean, I'm not sure how that's gonna be judged, but it's very, very crucial. And if Felix has a penalty hanging on his head, I mean, I have absolutely no idea what happened, so in the case it was Felix's fault and he has a penalty hanging on his head, he could drop down even further than fourth and lose so many points. And it's really not what he is now. This was definitely supposed to be, I mean, with this strategy choice, it just had to be a damage limitation race for Felix, but if he gets a penalty, he's gonna damage his race even more, and really not what he needed. And as we start the last lap of this Azerbaijan Grand Prix, Jerem has absolutely smoked P-Willy on those faster tires. Absolutely nothing he could have done to prevent this from happening. The choice of pitting under the second safety car was absolutely 100% the right choice. Now Pix overtakes Felix. Like, the fact that I'm saying this sentence, Pix overtakes Felix for P4. And Pix in the midfield, in the upper midfield, has been in absolutely amazing form. He has been scoring so many P4s across all divisions, and he battles side by side with Felix. Look at this. Felix fighting for position on track with Pix. And now he gets overtaken by Alex, who sends it very late down the inside. What a fight we are seeing here in the midfield. And now Pix has secured P4. Now Felix is going to be under attack from Alex, who has the same tire, who has the same engine of tires. Kuko has faster tires though, so he's up there if anything happens. But we are gonna go back to Jerem with an amazing strategy choice. He wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix with a gap of almost 9 seconds to PC who crosses the line in second. Oh, this is Antonio! Antonio has spun! Antonio's got a puncher! Antonio's got a rear puncher at the last lap on the main straight. Those cars were not able to hold on for 19 laps, and Antonio is gonna have to crawl his car to the finish line, and he's gonna drop almost outside of the points. He could finish in P8, but maybe Sully could catch up to him. Absolutely heartbreaking stuff for Antonio. He's crawling his car to the finish line, but he brings it home in P8. And he was very lucky to have not DNF'd. And I completely missed the fight between Felix, Alex, and Pix. Felix, he's still able to finish on the podium in P3. Alex in P4, just 2 tenths away. Pix 1 tenth away with an amazing P5. Kuko as well with an amazing P6. Sam recovers up to 7th, but Antonio, who was very much a contender, not for the win but for the podium, gets a puncher on the last lap, and that's what I was gonna get worried about. To bring him to the hand, but like PC Willy, Felix and Alex had to do a lot of management, and well, so had Antonio, but he did it a lot worse, and that resulted in a rear puncher at the end of the race at the last possible moment. Absolutely heartbreaking stuff for Antonio. But it's gonna be Jerem reserving for Williams, makes his comeback after quite some time. He returns to Division 1 and he wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, returning in F1 Total, reserving for Williams. Absolutely amazing stuff, and that was all in the strategy, that was all in the choice of pitting under the second safety car. That has paid off absolutely brilliantly. And it's a very much deserved race win for Jerem. PC Willy still with a strong performance, secures a P2, and in the end Felix was Felix was still able to do some damage limitation and still finish on the podium in P3. So it looked like it could have been a lot worse, but he was able to recover in the end. And just look at the fastest laps between PC Willy and Felix. PC Willy, he's faster than Felix by a thousandth of a second, at least on their respective fastest laps. So that's Alex in P4, Pix in P5, Kuko in P6, Sam in P7, Antonio in P8, Sully in P9, and Fansafox scores the last point in P10. And what a dramatic end to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I have to say, absolute chaos on the last lap at the top of the field and in the midfield. Absolutely unpredictable stuff come the end of this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And wow, absolutely wow. I definitely would have not expected things to go this way. And it was a very, very, very brilliant race to watch. So I definitely did enjoy that, and I hope you did as well. So that's the Baku race week over across all divisions. We are now done with Division 1 for the 4th round. So well, there's gonna be the real Formula 1 title decider in Abu Dhabi tomorrow. But I mean, who cares about that? League racing is more important. So league racing obviously has priority over real Formula 1, and F1 Total will obviously be back next week for the 5th round across all 3 divisions, which is gonna be at Belgium, Spa-Francorchamps, one of the most iconic tracks on the entire calendar. I am absolutely looking forward to that race across all 3 divisions, and I hope you are as well, and you better tune in to the F1 Total YouTube channel as well every single week. Again, it's going to be Tuesdays for Division 3, Wednesdays for Division 2, and Saturdays for Division 1 for the Belgian Grand Prix next week. So thank you for watching tonight's race. I wish you a pleasant end of the evening, and well, a pleasant afternoon tomorrow to watch the end of this 2025 Formula 1 season in Abu Dhabi. See who gets to win the championship between Piastri, Verstappen, and Norris. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and we will wait for you again next week.